kick it off, we're going to go ahead and introduce our very first speaker because this is an amazing, amazing panel. Juan, I know you, brother. You're amazing, Blue. Juan has a long legacy. Went to the University of Michigan. He's a corporate lawyer. I got his resume right here. Georgetown Law. He's a mediator, profound. He can hit some yoga positions, boy, I tell you so what. And he's a meditative practitioner. Juan, come up here and do your thing.
Wow. Just listening to Denzel, and it's something, to hear a brother. I mean, Denzel and I do yoga together, and I hadn't heard this story before from him, and so I'm impacted by that. I'm feeling his story, as he's talking about his dad, and it kind of brings us to what empathy is all about, The theme here is the art of empathy. And empathy is different from sympathy. Empathy drives connection, okay? Empathy says, when you empathize with someone, you have to think about a time where you felt like they felt, and you communicate with them. I feel it. I feel that too, Sympathy is different. Sympathy is actually a distancing kind of thing, like, oh, that looks bad to me. I see it, but that looks bad to me. But empathy says, I am here too. I feel this, And so, as I listen to Denzel speak about his dad, about this connection from his dad, I think about my own dad, and this is not what I expected to talk about at all here today, my parents were divorced, and my dad and my mom, there was physical abuse in the family. My dad and my mom, this is 70s. There was fighting. There was this physical abuse. My mom did ultimately leave my dad after 23 years of marriage. But that kind of created a rift between me and my dad. There's 5 of us kids, and my dad was always closer to my older brothers and whatnot, not as close to me, And I felt that void there, that Denzel was talking about, And so, again, I didn't expect him to talk about this at all. And part of what they have is, I'm an attorney, and so I'm usually prepared and everything like this, but part of what we've done, these 4 weeks, we talk about being vulnerable, being intimate, letting your truth come out, and not preparing anything. So I'm not to prepare anything. And so it's whatever happens to you when you sit down here. And so I heard what Denzel had to say, and this is what's coming to my heart to speak about now, And so I was talking about my dad. There's this distance between me and my dad. There was a time when I was 6 or 7 years old, and me and my friends, we were on the lawn, we were playing, and I hear this huge noise, boom! And I turn around and I look, and my mom is coming out of the house. We had a screen door, one of those screen doors, and aluminum screen doors. The top half is screen, the bottom half is thin piece of aluminum. My mom was running out of the house. She smashes through the thin piece of aluminum. That's what this huge ass noise is. Mom running at full speed, coming through this piece of aluminum, knocks it out. It's so loud, everyone in the neighborhood can hear this. And on her heels, close on her heels, is Dad. And Dad grabs my mom's ankle. And I'm out in the front yard with my friends playing, like I said, 6 or 7 years old. And I see Dad grabbing Mom, and I just instinctively jump on Dad's back. It gives Mom enough time to get away when she gets away. And my dad kind of shakes me off, and he sees everyone in the neighborhood's looking at him. And he's like, oh, hey, have y'all go, oh, we're gone. And so Mom runs around the block. Later on, I come to find out, Mom said Dad had a gun. And he was threatening Mom with this gun. And that's why she was running away there, And ever since that point, Dad and I there was a break in our relationship, Dad saw me as favoring Mom, And so that mama's boy, but you know, every son wants his dad's approval. It's just true. And my older brothers, I was always the academic one, you know. My older brothers were sports. You know, one of my brothers is he played professional basketball in Europe. You know, he was Hall of Fame in his college basketball. You know, so Dad would travel all over the state to go to his games, all of his games. I was the captain of the swim team. Never came to one of my meets. You know, never came to anything. So I felt that, you know. And so, as Denzel was speaking, this was coming to my heart to speak about this, the empathy of that. So I feel that in Denzel, you know, I just wanted to share that part of me, you know, so I appreciate that, brother. So part of what I want to talk about here today in the empathy space is, you know, part of my journey, you know. I was in a long-term relationship for like 18 years, and I wasn't, in this relationship, I was not, my mom would say it was physically abused. I was emotionally abused in this relationship. And see, what you see is these patterns happening, you know. I saw this and I accepted this in myself. You know, I let this happen to myself. So some crazy stuff happened in that relationship. And I remember part of that craziness is being with my partner in the car, and he's like disrespecting me in front of my mom and my dad, you know, driving this car, you know. And this, you know, it's one thing to be disrespected, like, in the privacy of your own home kind of thing, which you're like, you know, it's not the best thing, you know, but it's like, it's not public. No one can see this, you know. But it's another thing to be disrespected in front of the family kind of stuff, you know. And he disrespected me in front of my family and in front of my friends. And this is for 18 years, off and on, different things. This is an abuse cycle. If you know anything about the abuse cycle, you know it's, there's a period of time where everything's cool, everything's calm, and then the tension builds up, then an explosion happens, and then an apology, and then everything cools, everything calm, explosion. So it's an abuse cycle. So I was in this abuse cycle for 18 years. And I had beautiful friends who were there for me during this cycle, you know, and they could see it, you know, and they would talk about it as far as with me, like, how are you doing? But I wasn't ready at the time to address it. And any of the times, they were all there for me, and I appreciate it, I love them. A lot of them are here with me tonight. The issue is, you don't change until you're ready to change, you know? And it came a point where the abuse was so bad, I was transitioning from one job to another job. I had this one opportunity that was really big, and I was so excited for it. I was this close to it, and everything, all the indications pointed I was going to get this job. And then when I didn't get the job, my partner says to me something to the effect of, like, you know, like, it's your fault, you know, you didn't get it, kind of thing. It's like, at that point, I needed someone to say, oh man, I'm sorry you didn't get that job, you know? What can I do? Give you a hug, you know? And at that point, I wasn't going to be with this man anymore. I knew I was not going to be with him anymore. I said to myself, I just got to figure this out. Once I get a job, I'm out. And that's what I did. I got myself, and I got out, you know, because at that point, it finally hit me that, you know, this is not anybody you want to be with, you know. And so part of it was through friends who were here helping me understand that because you want it, it's important. That's it. A friend told me just because I wanted it was important. I'd always put the things that I wanted aside. You know, I'm the smart one, I'm the attorney, I can do all these kind of other things. And I have all these great credentials out there. And I'm telling you this because even with all these great credentials, I was suffering from this stuff, you know? And part of my wanting to be vulnerable here is because I know that there are others of us in this crowd who are suffering from this as well. And I want to tell you that you can, when you're ready, you know, get beyond it. And part of that is, for me, it was therapy, you know? It was friends, it was the love of friends. People who told me I was good, I was great, I was a special person, you know? You need that. And so now, going forward in my life, ain't nobody in my life voluntarily. I mean, I got work people that have to be in the life, but people that volunteer in my life, these people are for Juan. They are 100% Juan. That doesn't mean that they're over here blowing smoke and telling me I'm the greatest thing in the world, but I know that, how are you feeling, Juan? How are you doing, Juan? You know, they want to know how I am. They sincerely want to know how my well-being and what I'm doing. I wasn't getting that with my partner. I get that with everybody in my life that I bring in now, you know? And I give that back. This is empathy. This is empathy. This is how you know that you have wonderful people in your life. They're asking you, how are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? How did that make you feel? How did that make you feel? And they want to know your answer. They're not listening just so they can say what they want to say next. They're listening because they want to know how it made you feel, you know? And so I am blessed to have such wonderful people in my life, you know? And I feel the love of that, and it's empowered me to be strong enough, confident enough to wear a fucking skirt up in here. so thank you all. It's a kilt, but you know, whatever. It makes me confident enough, and I'm so happy, and so many of you guys are here tonight. And thank you all. Thank you all for giving me space. Currency apparently. All right, brother Ron, Denzel, you want to?
There we go. All right, so Juan, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I've got questions, but before I dive in, I want to open it up to anybody else who might have questions. Anybody? Okay, if not, then great, I got this. Juan, so you got it. Okay.
What up, Juan?
How you doing?
Man, the emotional abuse, right? Like, it has no scars. So there's no evidence for you to say it is happening, right? And you end up giving it another 30 days, and another 30 days, and another 30 days, or whatever the interval is that you work off of. And so, what's interesting when you tell the story about the disrespect in front of your parents, that hit me, man. That hit me because it happened to me. And when you're not equally footed, and I'm just curious what was the ding dong that went off in your head? Why was it the job and why was it not the parents? Is what I would like to hear. Why the person not celebrating you was the thing that went off, was like the time bomb versus the disrespect in front of your parents.
I think that's a good question, and I think part as you were asking the question was coming to me. I was like, wow, that's a good question, and I think what it was is, you know, my parents didn't say, you know, baby, he disrespecting you. No matter what, you shouldn't put up with this shit. You know, they didn't say anything. You know, I felt like, you know, this shouldn't be happening, and I felt really embarrassed that, you know, brother should be like, fuck this, you can do this in front of my parents, you know. And I didn't do that, but they didn't say anything either, you know. And I think partly when you talk about the job thing was because for most of our relationship, I was the primary breadwinner, you know, with this partner, you know. And then I lost this job, you know, and then at that point, he was actually the primary breadwinner. And so the job was important for me. And when, like I said, I didn't get this great opportunity. This opportunity was at Google. It was going to be almost like double my salary, what I was making before. And I was that close. I had lots of supporters in Google who was going to give me this job, you know. And so, I was like measuring drapes. That's how close I was. I got this job, y'all. I'm good, you know. But it didn't happen. And instead of him recognizing that, you know, this meant a lot to me and I was that close, it was another, you know, damn, you didn't do that, you fucked that shit up, you know? And so, that was, for some reason, that registered to me and that let me know, you know, I gotta get out of this relationship.
Cool. Well, thank you, Juan, for that. So I want you guys to hold on to your questions just for a moment here. Well, we have some questions from the live stream. Right? Talk about what changed within. What in your belief system changed that moved you to get out of the relationship and see yourself in others more clearly?
Wow. You know, like I said, there's some friends here tonight who helped me. And I was telling a friend in particular, I remember this one instance, I was telling her something, and I glided over the fact that I wanted something, you know? And she said, no, stop, Juan. She said, stop. I was like, what? She's like, it's important just because you want it, Juan. And I was like, what, huh? No, it always because I was, you know, because again, I'm an attorney, I'm breadwinner, I'm, you know, first generation of my family to go to college and law school, and I'm always the one. So I usually put my desires, my needs secondary to everyone else because I can handle it. I can handle it. No, Juan. It's important because you want it. It blew my mind. It sounds simple. As between any two people, if you want something and I want something, it's equally important, but equally. So those things have to be addressed. You know, like I want, maybe you do it first and I do it second, but they're equally important. No one should just say their desires are subjugated to anyone else's desires. And I didn't get that. I would automatically subjugate myself. And part of my coming out here, I said it's called codependency. Part of my coming out here is like, I see this a lot with people. I see a lot of mothers, fathers, I see people subjecting themselves. Everyone else's desires are more important than theirs. No, they're not. They're not. And it's the whole airplane analogy. You have to put your mask on first, and then you can help everybody else. You can help everybody else. So now, I really do put myself first, my desires first. And that's not selfish. You know, it's self-care. And when I do that, I am so much more powerful. I can help everybody. I can help so many more people when I take care of me and my needs. When I set my boundaries, and I tell you, you know, I can do it Tuesday, I can do it Thursday. That's when I can do it. And I'm happy to do it Tuesday, Thursday. We'll do it all day Tuesday and Thursday, but I can't do it those other days. So if you come in those other days and you say, wait, Monday, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm happy because I'm doing it when I want to do it. I'm not pissed because I'm doing it on a Monday when I said I couldn't do it on a fucking Monday, you know, but I'm gonna do it anyway because, no, these are my boundaries. So I've learned to set boundaries. And my friends will tell you, I set a boundary in a heartbeat. But I didn't do that before. And part of that codependency is you don't set boundaries because you're afraid that if you set this boundary, they're not gonna like me. They're not gonna be my friend. They're not gonna be my partner. They're not gonna, Take care of yourself first, and the stuff I found people respected me more. They respect you more because you set that boundary. They know where they stand. They know Tuesday and Thursday. Why they gonna do it if it's Tuesday and Thursday? But he's there Tuesday and Thursday. People respect you, so that's where I am.
Hey Juan, I'm not sure how much time you got, but
We don't have any. Well, go ahead, David, because you my man. Go ahead.
the thing about what he was just saying, as a black man, setting boundaries, but at the same time, I got to take care of this shit. This is my language. Somebody got to take care of what needs to happen on Monday. Look here. I'm trying to set boundaries, and I'm not available on Monday and Tuesday. Sister, mama, cousin, community member, family member, I done told you I'm not available on Monday and Tuesday. I can help you on Wednesday and Thursday. But look here, it's going down on Monday and Tuesday. And somebody got to show up within this family, within this community, and deal with this. And that's been my, I'm working on this. I'm getting older now, and I'm setting some good boundaries. So I'm having some joy and love, and the world is benefiting from that. But at the same time, I got my eye over here that, so now I wanted to make that comment, and then also maybe hear what your response is.
Yeah, no, if it happens on Monday, then I have to make a decision. I'll say, okay, if it's only gonna be Monday, then I'll do it Monday, but let you know that I don't usually do it on Mondays. This is an exception. I usually do Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I'm doing it on Monday for you this one time. So that's how I can make myself comfortable with doing it on Monday. And then next time they come and say, I did it on Monday again. I'm sorry, I told you it was Tuesdays and Thursdays. That one time was an exception. I'm not gonna do it again. And then I gotta get comfortable with that. And I am comfortable with that. And I'm comfortable with that. So I'm sorry, it happens again on a Monday.
Period, and that's on T.
So what Juan didn't mention was what happens as an empath when you don't start asserting boundaries, right? You just become Captain Save All. But we're not gonna get into that. So we're gonna keep the show moving.